Are you putting everything in your fridge without a second thought, assuming cold storage equals safety and freshness? The truth might disturb you. Certain common foods can actually develop harmful properties when refrigerated. Health experts across multiple specialties have identified that some everyday items, when chilled, can create compounds associated with serious health risks, including cancer, cognitive decline, and digestive problems. We're going to reveal 5 ordinary foods that don't belong in your refrigerator and explain the science behind why. Most households make these storage mistakes daily without understanding the potential consequences. When these foods are refrigerated, their molecular composition shifts, generating dangerous substances or destroying essential nutrients your body needs for optimal function. The last item we'll discuss is particularly important because nearly everyone keeps it refrigerated. Yet research has linked it to neurological inflammation and cognitive deterioration when stored this way. Learning proper food storage methods will help safeguard your wellness while maintaining the nutritional value that supports physical strength, mental clarity, and sustained vitality. Let's dive in. First, garlic. Garlic receives well-deserved praise for strengthening immunity, lowering blood pressure, and protecting cardiovascular health. However, many people don't realize that refrigerating garlic completely alters its chemical makeup, transforming one of nature's most powerful natural medicines into a potential toxin source. When garlic experiences cold, moist air for extended periods, it begins sprouting and develops a green core. This sprouting triggers sulfur compound formation that can irritate digestion and, when cooked, form harmful byproducts linked to oxidative stress. Cold temperatures also interfere with garlic's allicin production, the natural compound responsible for its antibacterial, antiviral, and anti-cancer properties. Once chilled, garlic enzymes become inactive, meaning even if it appears fresh, it's nutritionally diminished. You might notice refrigerated garlic tastes sharper or more bitter. That bitterness signals chemical breakdown. Over time, consuming garlic in this state may contribute to chronic inflammation, a key pathway to both cancer and dementia. Mold presents another worry. Refrigerated garlic cloves are extremely prone to absorbing excess moisture. This damp environment encourages Clostridium botulinum growth, the same bacteria causing botulism, a potentially fatal illness. Even if garlic looks fine, invisible spores can develop. Once consumed, they release toxins attacking the nervous system. For older individuals, especially those with weakened immunity, this risk becomes far more serious. How should garlic be stored properly? Keep it in a cool, dry, ventilated space like a hanging basket or open bowl on your countertop. Avoid plastic bags or sealed containers trapping moisture. Garlic requires airflow. When stored correctly, whole bulbs can last weeks, sometimes months, maintaining both flavor and health protective qualities. If you've already peeled or chopped garlic, it can be kept in a tightly sealed glass jar with a thin olive oil layer in the refrigerator, but only for several days. The oil prevents air exposure, but quick use is important to prevent bacterial growth. Garlic's power resides in its purity, its natural oils, enzymes, and antioxidants working synergistically. Refrigeration disrupts this harmony, removing what makes it healing initially. Think of garlic as living medicine. It thrives at room temperature, not in cold storage. When you store it properly, you preserve its ability to combat inflammation, boost brain health, and protect cardiovascular function. Something as basic as a dry bowl of garlic on your counter can quietly serve as one of your strongest defenses against illness. Second, tomatoes. Tomatoes are another food that should never see the inside of a refrigerator. Yet almost every home makes this error. The instant a tomato is chilled, the enzymes responsible for its flavor and aroma begin degrading. Worse, cold temperatures destroy the antioxidants that shield your body from inflammation and disease. Among these antioxidants is lycopene, one of the most potent compounds for reducing heart disease risk, cancer, and age-related brain deterioration. When cold damages a tomato's structure, it releases water and loses firmness. Cell membranes rupture, causing the flesh to become mealy and dull. You'll notice refrigerated tomatoes taste bland or acidic. That's not just diminished flavor, it's chemical breakdown. Food science research shows that storing tomatoes below 50 degrees Fahrenheit for over 2 days can have their antioxidant content. For mature adults, this means missing crucial nutrients that maintain cognitive function and defend against oxidative stress, which directly connects to dementia and cancer. Bacterial risk adds another concern. Refrigerators often contain condensation and micro-moisture, especially near produce compartments. When tomatoes absorb that moisture through their delicate skin, it becomes a bacterial breeding ground, such as listeria, which can trigger serious infections in older individuals with compromised immune systems. You might not detect the contamination through sight or smell, but even minor bacterial amounts can harm the body over time. Tomatoes flourish at moderate temperatures. Store them at room temperature, stem side facing up, on a counter, or in a paper bag away from direct sunlight. If they ripen too rapidly, place them in a cool, not cold, spot. This preserves flavor while retaining nutrients. Once cut, you can briefly store tomato pieces in a sealed glass container for 1 day, but consume them as quickly as possible. Tomatoes represent one of nature's finest offerings for cardiovascular and brain health, yet refrigeration destroys their natural healing capacity. The flavor that vanishes isn't merely taste. It's the loss of natural compounds protecting your memory, skin, and immune function. Every time you allow a tomato to ripen naturally on your counter, you're giving your body the complete benefit of its vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, exactly as nature designed. When nutrition scientists discuss living foods, they mean foods that continue to breathe, ripen, and nourish. Tomatoes exemplify this perfectly. Keeping them outside the refrigerator not only preserves taste, but also preserves your health and longevity. Your brain and body benefit every time you consume one fresh and vibrant rather than cold and nutrient depleted. If you're finding this information valuable, please comment below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't already, I encourage you to subscribe and activate notifications so you won't miss future content. Your engagement helps us keep producing quality information to educate and motivate you. Now let's continue. Third, onions. Many people immediately refrigerate onions, thinking cold temperatures extend their lifespan. Actually, this storage method can make them hazardous over time. Onions naturally pull in moisture and bacteria from their surroundings. In the refrigerator's humid environment, they deteriorate more rapidly. This breakdown creates sulfur compounds that not only ruin their flavor, but can upset your stomach and, according to current research, promote chronic bodily inflammation, a fundamental factor in numerous diseases, including cancer and dementia. As an onion absorbs excessive moisture, its texture becomes mushy and waterlogged. Decaying layers produce mold spores and dangerous microorganisms that often escape notice. These compounds don't merely spoil the onion, they emit gases that can cross-contaminate adjacent foods. A single improperly stored onion can compromise everything else in your refrigerator. Cold conditions also eliminate the natural antioxidants in onions, particularly quercetin, which shields the brain from oxidative damage and supports memory function. Refrigeration breaks down onion cell walls, causing nutrient oxidation and potency loss. Simply put, refrigeration not only ruins onion taste and freshness, but strips away the very compounds that combat disease and aging. Store onions in a cool, dry location with adequate air circulation. A mesh bag, paper sack, or woven basket allows them to breathe and remain fresh for weeks. Keep them away from direct sunlight and separated from potatoes, since potato emissions hasten onion spoilage. If you've cut an onion and need to save the remainder, wrap it tightly in dry paper towel. Place it in a sealed container and refrigerate for only 1 to 2 days maximum. Longer storage risks bacterial proliferation. Note that onions refrigerated too long emit a pungent odor even before visible spoilage. That smell is a warning signal indicating the onion's chemical balance is shifting and it's no longer safe or nutritious. Your brain and body depend on antioxidants to fight inflammation and degeneration. Keeping onions fresh and chemically intact is a straightforward yet effective way to protect your health. Fresh onions don't just enhance meal flavor. They keep your mind sharper and your immune defenses stronger. Fourth, bread. Bread is a household staple, yet it's among the most commonly mishandled foods regarding storage. Many people refrigerate bread, assuming it will maintain freshness longer, but this practice quietly destroys both quality and safety. Food scientists have discovered that refrigerating bread accelerates starch retrogradation, a process where starch molecules recrystallize, turning bread dry, hard, and nutrient-poor. The greater concern is that this process creates ideal conditions for mold and mycotoxin development, substances linked to cancer, liver damage, and neurological decline. When bread absorbs moisture in cold environments, it begins sweating inside its packaging. This moisture feeds microscopic fungi, especially Aspergillus and Penicillium species. These molds produce mycotoxins invisible to the naked eye, directly connected to brain inflammation and memory loss in older adults. You might think removing moldy portions makes a loaf safe again, but toxins can spread far beyond visible areas. Every slice could carry trace amounts of harmful compounds slowly accumulating in the body. Refrigerating bread also changes its chemical composition, weakening natural fibers supporting digestion and blood sugar regulation. Starch molecules harden, forcing your digestive system to work harder for breakdown, often causing bloating, fatigue, and unstable glucose levels. For older adults managing diabetes or cardiovascular conditions, this can quietly worsen inflammation and oxidative stress, key drivers of both cancer and dementia. Instead of refrigeration, store bread in a cool, dry area at room temperature. Keep it in a breathable bag like paper or linen rather than plastic, which traps humidity. If you purchase more bread than you can consume within several days, freeze it in airtight portions. Freezing preserves freshness and prevents mold without altering bread structure. When ready to eat, toast or warm slices gently to restore texture and flavor. Also, pay attention to the bread type you purchase. Highly processed white bread often contains preservatives that may extend shelf life, but can also irritate the gut and spike blood sugar rapidly. Choose whole grain or sourdough varieties. They're richer in natural fiber, probiotics, and nutrients supporting cardiovascular and brain health. Bread has been part of human civilization for millennia, long before refrigerators existed. Storing it naturally not only keeps it safer, but also honors how it was meant to be enjoyed: fresh, nourishing, and life-sustaining. Small habits like this accumulate significant impact over time. The foods we consume daily either heal or harm us, and something as simple as bread storage can shift that balance toward health or disease. Protect your mind and body by keeping bread outside the refrigerator and treating it with proper care. What appears as a minor adjustment today could be among the most powerful steps toward preventing diseases that rob people of their memory, vitality, and peace. If you're still finding this content valuable, please comment below to let me know. And if you haven't subscribed, I encourage you to do so and turn on notifications so you don't miss upcoming content. Your support helps us continue creating quality information to educate and motivate you. Let's proceed. 5th, potatoes. Storing potatoes in cold temperatures triggers an unwanted biochemical transformation. Food science researchers explain that refrigeration converts the potato's natural starch into sugars. During subsequent cooking at high temperatures, whether you're frying, baking, or roasting, these sugars react with amino acids to produce acrylamide, a substance connected to cancer development and neurological harm. Acrylamide is particularly insidious because it's completely undetectable through smell or taste. It accumulates silently in your system over extended periods. Scientific studies indicate that regular exposure, particularly in mature adults, elevates the likelihood of mental decline and may play a role in dementia development by damaging brain neurons. Something as seemingly innocent as incorrect potato storage could gradually compromise your health in ways that remain invisible for years. Potatoes need cool, dark, dry conditions, but not cold ones. The optimal location is a pantry, basement storage area, or a paper bag tucked in a cabinet away from light exposure. Temperatures should be moderate rather than freezing. Properly stored potatoes maintain their firmness and nutritional content without developing the problematic sugars that lead to acrylamide formation. There's another concern with refrigerated potatoes: digestive impact. When starch converts to sugar, it changes how your system processes it, causing blood glucose spikes. This is especially problematic for individuals dealing with diabetes or insulin sensitivity. Keeping them outside the refrigerator protects your brain health, blood chemistry, and energy stability. When potatoes develop sprouts or green discoloration, that signals trouble. These signs indicate solanine presence, a toxic compound causing nausea and potentially neurological symptoms in severe cases. Refrigeration speeds up this deterioration by creating stress conditions for the potato. Inspect your potatoes frequently. Discard any that feel soft or show green coloring, and purchase smaller amounts to ensure they're used while fresh. This simple change, storing potatoes in a dark cabinet rather than your fridge, can dramatically decrease carcinogen exposure and improve overall body function. Consider it a quiet form of health maintenance, small yet powerful in keeping you healthier with every meal. As we conclude, take a moment to consider how many of these 5 foods, garlic, tomatoes, onions, bread, and potatoes, are currently in your refrigerator. Most of us refrigerate them habitually, believing we're protecting our health, when actually we're quietly doing the opposite. How you store food affects far more than freshness. It affects your body, brain, and long-term wellness. Cancer, dementia, and other chronic diseases don't develop overnight. They result from years of small, repeated choices like how we cook, eat, and store our food. Every decision either strengthens or weakens your body. The beauty of this truth is that it means you maintain control. It's never too late to change habits and protect yourself. By keeping these foods at room temperature, you preserve their nutrients, natural defenses, and the balanced nature intended. You'll notice meals taste better, digestion improves, and energy feels steadier. More importantly, you'll protect your brain and cells from chemical stress caused by improper storage. These aren't complicated medical interventions. They're simple, practical steps anyone can implement. For older adults, these small adjustments can create remarkable improvements in overall health. You've spent a lifetime caring for others. Now it's time to care for yourself in the simplest, smartest ways possible. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below sharing one thing you learned and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your thoughts matter to us, so please share them. Reading your comments provides tremendous motivation and encouragement. If you found this content helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support enables us to continue creating quality content to educate and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.